See that tapering off going into tonight. Your temperatures currently are sitting in the mid-20s for a lot of us. We are up to 29 degrees in Aurora. Same thing at Midway. 27 in Gary. It's down 25 degrees in Waukegan. Here's where we're headed tonight. It's going to be another cold night. We'll have low temperatures that are going to be in the low to mid-teens. But looking ahead, we have a really nice warming trend at the end of the week where temperatures are going to be in the 40s. Those details coming up.
All right, thanks.
So a lot of the cloud cover that we're dealing with is actually lake-enhanced cloud cover. So for locations closer to the lakefront, that's where we're seeing some light snow flurries, a little bit of cloud cover. But then for those of you in Northwest Indiana, places like Lake County from Gary down toward Lowell, you can see right along 65, we're dealing with some lake effect snow that's coming down. Not a lot, but it's certainly going to be enough to create slick conditions out there. Any untreated surfaces will become slick. So Northwest Indiana right now seeing the majority of those snow showers. Your temperatures are currently sitting in the 20s. We are running cooler across Northwest Indiana, only 22 degrees currently in Valparaiso, but it's 27 at O'Hare. Futurecast taking us throughout the rest of this evening. The cloud cover, the lake effect, that's going to be coming to an end, tapering off, and then temperatures by 9 or 10 p.m. going to begin to drop into the teens. So it is going to be a cold night for us. And then tomorrow, we have yet another quick moving system that's going to be bringing a quick shot of snow to us. So about a half inch or less of accumulation is expected on Thursday for those of us that do end up seeing that snow. So it's going to be a fast mover, minimal impacts. Temperatures should be topping out right around 30 degrees. There's going to be a few of us that come pretty close to the freezing mark. For tonight, 14 degrees. We'll have westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your 5-day forecast tomorrow, 31, 38 on Friday. So nice and mild, but that is coming along with scattered snow showers, possibly mixing in with some sleet, maybe even a little bit of rain. And then going into the weekend, we're cool on Saturday, but 30s and then 40s are on tap for early next week. Back to you. City of Chicago. However, that should be changing here throughout this evening. We're going to see our skies becoming partly cloudy. For those of you in Northwest Indiana, Lake, Porter, Newton, and Jasper counties, you're seeing some lake effect that's streaming in. So, of course, any untreated surfaces going to become snow covered and slick out there. For tonight, that lake effect is going to come to an end. Temps are going to drop to about 14 degrees. And in the next couple of days, we have warmer temperatures on tap. We're going up to the upper 30s on Friday, but both Thursday and Friday coming along with a chance of snow, maybe even mixing in with some sleet by Friday. Back to you. 26 degrees currently at O'Hare. 23 is what we are now down to in Woodstock, 27 in Gary, 25 in Michigan City. It's only 22 degrees currently in Valparaiso. Your 5-day forecast here, warmer days ahead. So we are looking at low 30s tomorrow. Again, very seasonable. And then by Friday, we're expected to be in the upper 30s before a brief cool down just in time for the weekend. On Saturday, we're looking at highs that are only going to be in the mid-20s, but then Sunday beginning to see that warming trend again. And then I know your eyes are already looking at Monday. 44 degrees is the expected high temperature. And then even looking beyond Monday, this is your temperature outlook from Tuesday through Saturday, which is the 10th through Valentine's Day on the 14th. And you can see that we are very strongly favored to see those above average conditions. So next week, we're going to have several days with temperatures that are in the 40s for highs. And there's a couple models that are even trying to bring 50s into the mix. So we could be very warm next week. The radar right now, we have lake effect snow that's coming down, especially across Northwest Indiana. Places like Lake County from Gary all the way down into northern Newton and Jasper counties, western Porter County. Places like Valparaiso also dealing with some of that lake effect. It is rather light, but any untreated surfaces, of course, going to become snow covered and slick. Satellite and radar zooming things out a bit. Again, still dealing with some of that cloud cover, but the clouds, they should clear out briefly before yet another wave moves in tomorrow. So a fast moving Clipper system is going to come through on Thursday, bringing in some light to moderate snow, but it should be very brief, just a couple hour window that we're seeing that snowfall. And then taking us into the afternoon and evening, we're drying things out. Temperatures going into your Friday. Remember, that's when it gets pretty warm during the day. We're counting on highs in the upper 30s, but it's still going to be coming along with the chance of some precipitation. So we have a snow chance, but there could actually be a little bit of sleet, maybe even some rain mixing in at times with those warmer temperatures at play. So we're looking at upper 30s for your high temperatures on Friday. Going into the weekend, we have high pressure building in, so that's going to clear out some of the cloud cover. For tonight, 14 degrees. We will have westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 7-day forecast tomorrow, 31, 38 degrees on Friday. A wintry mix possible, but I do think the primary form of precipitation is likely going to be in the form of snow. On Saturday, some sunshine, 24 degrees, 31 expected on Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, looking very mild. We are going to be in the 40s for your highs. Back to you.
40s.
Wow, that sounds, and 45, look at that.
Looking good.
Turn on my air conditioner.
Out the shorts.
Exactly. Okay.
City that we're around or at or above the freezing mark has been since the middle of January, so it's been quite a few weeks. Although I do think we're moving that direction here in the next couple of days. For right now, we still have some lake effect that's coming down across portions of northwest Indiana, Lake County, western Porter County, streaming into northern Newton and Jasper counties. But notice how it's beginning to lighten up in intensity here. So we're going to start to see the lake effect tapering off in the next few hours. And then tonight, we're looking at skies becoming partly cloudy before we cloud things back over again tomorrow. And a little bit more snow is near forecast for tomorrow as well. Current temperatures, a lot of us are sitting in the 20s. It's 22 in Valparaiso. We're now at 26 degrees at O'Hare, 23 at the Chicago Lakefront, same thing in Woodstock, 25 in DeKalb. Futurecast taking us throughout the next couple of hours here. Temps are going to dip down into the teens by about 8 or 9 p.m. So we are looking at a cold night ahead with the lack of cloud cover for a few hours. That's going to allow temperatures to drop down into the low to mid-teens for your overnight low. And then by early tomorrow, so I have the clock stepped here between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. Notice how we're starting to see a little bit of snow beginning to work its way in. So we have a fast moving system that's going to be swinging on through tomorrow. And we could be dealing with around a ½ inch or less of snow for those of us that do end up seeing these stronger snow showers. So we could have those brief, heavier bursts of snow during the morning, the midday hours. After that, we're going to be drying things out. Temperatures are expected to tap out pretty close to 30 degrees. So temperature-wise, it's actually going to be fairly comfortable tomorrow. 14 degrees for your overnight low. The lake effect in northwest Indiana, that's going to be tapering off. And then skies are going to become partly cloudy during the overnight. Your 5-day forecast tomorrow, 31. We'll have a high temperature of 38 degrees. Going into your Friday, that too is coming along with a chance for snow and then maybe even a little bit of sleet mixing in at times, maybe even a couple raindrops with temperatures in the upper 30s. So kind of a mixed bag of precip on Friday. Saturday and Sunday we're dry, and then next week we have 40s on the way. We'll be right back. Lear, 27 at O'Hare, 31 degrees in Aurora, 28 in Joliet, only 25 degrees was the high temperature in Waukegan, although we did hit 30 in Woodstock. So your temperatures right now, we've dropped just a couple of degrees. A lot of us now are sitting in the 20s. It's 22 degrees in Valparaiso, down to 21 at the Chicago Lakefront. Same thing in Woodstock, 24 in DeKalb, 26 in Morris. We're now at 25 in Chicago Heights, and it's 23 degrees in Merrillville. Here's where we're headed. So tomorrow we're expected to be in the lower 30s. I'm going with a high of 31, so not quite at that freezing mark for O'Hare tomorrow. I think we're going to be very close, though. The last time that we actually had temperatures at or above freezing, though, in the city of Chicago was back in mid-January, so it's been several weeks. Regardless, we're moving in the right direction. Upper 30s expected for your highs by Friday. Setback going into Saturday. We're going back down to the mid-20s, but it's going to be very short-lived. We're back up to near the freezing mark on Sunday. And then by Monday, I know your eyes are already looking at that. 44 degrees is the forecast high temperature for Monday, and I think it gets even warmer going into your Tuesday. So this is your temperature outlook from February 10th through the 14th. That is Tuesday through Saturday of next week. And you can see we're strongly favored to see above average conditions next week. There's a couple models that are trying to bring temperatures into the 50s for some portions of the Chicagoland area. So that'll be something to watch. But at this point, I'm playing it a little bit safer just because of that snowpack, because of that frozen ground that we have. I'm going with high temperatures in the 40s for the majority of next week. The radar, zooming things in. We've been dealing with some lake effect, especially across Lake County, western Porter, and then into northern, extreme northern Newton and Jasper counties. And this is going to begin to taper off here over the next few hours. And actually, across the western portion of the viewing area, we're already beginning to clear out the cloud cover. That's a sign of things to come. So throughout the overnight, we're going to see our skies becoming partly cloudy, which is also going to allow temperatures to drop pretty quickly. We're looking at lows that are going to be in the low to mid-teens, and then we are tracking a little bit of snow, very quick moving system that's going to be here tomorrow, ½ inch or less of accumulation for those of us that do end up seeing that snow. And then we're going to see snow chances returning again on Friday, even with that warmer air in the upper 30s. So on Saturday, we're back down to 24, dry skies over the weekend. Monday still looking good. We're going to see some sunshine, skies becoming mostly cloudy into Tuesday, but highs early next week are going to be in the 40s. Scott.
Emily, thanks.